Epic Mealtime should drop out. Look, I'm not saying drop the event, because like there are a lot of people and YouTubers who aren't pieces of shit who like worked hard on doing it. I'm just saying don't fucking fund it so they stop doing it next year. You should go donate to charity and cut out the fucking degenerate middleman so they can't host a Creator Clash 3. That would be great. Maybe someone else can just rip off their whole event and do it better.
Hello there folks, it's Nerdy John, and today we're talking about iDubbbz and Creator Clash yet again. Now, for those of you who remember, Creator Clash was an event hosted by iDubbbz and his wife. It was this big event for YouTube boxing, and it was supposed to raise a lot of money for charity. The very first event was super successful. I remember everyone loving it, and like I was a bit of a detractor. I thought it was going to suck, mostly because of how iDubbbz was hyping up the event, how it was a quote-unquote drama-free event, unlike the boxing promotions done by Happy Punch or Logan Paul, and admittedly it kind of soured my taste a bit. But yeah, the first one was a lot of success, and so iDubbbz decided to host yet another one, and they made it bigger, better. They hosted more creators, it was in a bigger arena, and it was going to be an awesome time. Until that is that they had a bit of a controversy with one of their fighters, Froggy Fresh. Now, Froggy Fresh was a longtime YouTube legend, mostly known for his comedy songs, and he was set to fight in the event, and he decided to be trained by Sam Hyde. For those of you unfamiliar with the Sam Hyde lore, he was a creator known for, how should I say, like outlandish comedy. I remember iDubbbz tried to initially interview him in a documentary, and Sam basically trolled him the entire time, and ever since then, he's been this big boogeyman for iDubbbz, and he hates the mention of his name. He himself tries to ignore his fan base whenever he can. He is truly afraid of this man. And so, when he found out that he was training Froggy Fresh, a fighter, during the event, he was not too happy about that. And after Froggy had made some jokes towards his wife's OnlyFans, he decided to permanently take him off the card, replacing him with another fighter. Now, I remember a lot of people being disappointed with this decision, most importantly, the commentary guys, Kavos, even Gideon was very disappointed. Actually, Gideon himself offered up, I believe, $100,000 for the event to get Froggy back in. The $100,000 was going to go straight to whatever charity they wanted, and they denied the money simply because iDubbbz took Froggy Fresh personally.
That one didn't age quite so well.
Well, fast forward a bit, and iDubbbz has recently released a video discussing Creator Clash, and, well, it turns out they didn't make any money whatsoever. Now, in this video, he goes on saying that the main reason he thinks that the event lost money was mostly due to the piracy. He's blaming a lot of it on that. And also, too, he, for some reason, goes into this weird tangent about how, like, the fighters needed to, like, process their trauma.
Hello, everyone. I have some bad news to share with you. I really don't want to share it. I feel terrible. This year has been a rough one, but this is the path that I chose, so I think it's best to be transparent. For Creator Clash 2, despite it being a fun event, and despite good fights and a lot of creators sacrificing a lot of time, money, and energy, we lost $250,000 on the event. The way that this typically works for anyone who's unaware is that once our expenses are paid off for the event, like all the minimums of broadcasting, the hotel, travel, all that sort of stuff, once that's all paid off, then we can start paying the charities. Unfortunately, we didn't even reach the break-even point, right? We're $250,000 in the red. I foolishly thought that the success of last year should be a minimum, a minimum for what we are able to do this year. And that wasn't true. there was a lot more to think about. I thought, okay, you know, we're bringing on more talent, we're bringing on more creators. That should translate to more pay-per-view buys. We're inviting more creator guests. I think that should translate to more pay-per-view buys. This is our second time doing the event, so more people are going to know about it. So I thought that would translate to pay-per-view buys. But we did half as well as we did the first year. 50,000 compared to 100,000 the first year. So I was wrong, but we didn't have any anti-piracy measures. We weren't prepared to deal with what ended up happening. I mean, for me, I was just thinking like, let's just avoid catastrophe. As long as there's like not like, I don't know, like a bomb threat or like injuries or anything crazy, like we should be fine. This should just be like the first year. I don't want it to be more complicated than the first year. It ended up being a lot more complicated. We also had events the day before the fight and the day after the fight, so that, you know, fighters and friends and family could come together and process their trauma. That was sort of paramount for me, because the first year we did the fight and then I went to bed. I got the shit kicked out of me by Dr. Mike, and then I went to bed, and then I woke up, the hotel was empty, and then I got on a flight and traveled 5 hours with my face completely swollen back to Seattle. And I was like, that was cool. That was so worth it. There was nothing. There was no processing my trauma. There was no talking to anyone and relating about the experience afterward. Everyone was gone.
You know, throughout this entire video, he just has this disheveled look on his face. Like, he just doesn't look like he's in the right state of mind. Now, granted, that could be because he has to bear this terrible news, but I don't know, ever since, like, he's gone into this, like, current arc he's in, he's been, like, I don't know, he always looks disheveled, like he doesn't want to be on camera whenever, like, he makes a video. And the reaction to this has been very mixed. I think mostly people are disappointed that the event itself wasn't able to make the money for charity. A lot of people, for some reason, are saying that people are celebrating the fact that the event didn't make any money. Not at all. I think the majority of people who are criticizing iDubbbz in this situation is that he had a lot of opportunities to make sure this event made money, you know, bringing Froggy Fresh back on, accepting the Gideon money, not taking him off at all. But instead, he just like he takes everything way too personal. And honestly, we might not be seeing a Creator Clash 3 if they're not able to recoup any of the expenses. He has an idea of just like posting it online, you know, maybe get some ads on that. But it just seems like iDubbbz is taking a pretty big L on this one. This is Nerdy John, signing out. Take care.